Caitlin, thank you. I have to jump in again here from the First Alert Desk because we just learned more information about that situation that played out in the Dorchester neighborhood of Boston overnight. Someone there shot a police officer in the chest, and Boston police just released some new details. The officer who was hit apparently was wearing a bulletproof vest, and as a result, fortunately, he's expected to be all right. Also, investigators tell us they have arrested the suspect who they say pulled the trigger on Esmond Street late last night, again in the Dorchester neighborhood of Boston. The officer and the alleged shooter have not been identified, but that's going to change very soon because the suspect will face a judge later this morning. Live at the First Alert Desk, I'm Roger Suzanne and Caitlin.